Welcome guys. Now I've been reading a lot of comments lately, not just here on my channel, but across media and also social media. And there's a clear shift happening. Australians aren't just frustrated about house prices anymore. They're frustrated about fairness, about access, and about a housing system that feels like it's drifting further away from everyday reality. And honestly, that frustration makes sense. Today, I want to unpack why there's a growing backlash around housing affordability and housing policy, and why it's about much more than just prices alone. For years, the housing conversation was really simple. Prices are high, rates are up, it's hard to buy. But now people are seeing something much deeper. They are watching older, generally affordable homes being demolished, replaced with luxury apartments or premium townhouses, while rents keep rising and vacancy rates stay near record lows. And they're asking a very fair question. Who is this new housing actually for? Because when more supply doesn't feel affordable, trust in the system breaks down. Where are all the affordable new builds? The governments often say, we just need to build more homes. That's not completely true. Here's the reality most people don't see. Not all supply fixes affordability. Right now, construction costs are still dramatically higher than pre-COVID. Builders are operating on razor-thin margins or in fact collapsing. Planning approvals now take years. Infrastructure charges push prices higher. By the time a project stacks up financially, it often has to be aimed at the higher end of the market so that the builder, the landowner, the developer can make a meager profit. So yes, technically, we're building housing, but not always the type of housing that helps renters or first home buyers. We're adding dwellings, but losing affordability at the same time. This is where emotion comes in, and it is justified. Housing isn't just an asset class. Housing is where people live, raise families, and build stability. So when Australians see policy announcements that sound good, developments approved on paper, headlines about record housing investment, but their own rent jumps again, or buying still feels impossible, they see prices increasing month on month on month, and they're getting priced out. That creates resentment, that creates anger. This is why some people start calling the system a bubble or a Ponzi scheme. Not because they've studied economics, but because their day-to-day reality feels increasingly broken. When you strip it back, the pressure comes from a few core issues. Firstly, population growth is outpacing housing delivery. Population growth in and of itself is not bad. It's just that we now as a country do not have the ability to build enough homes to keep up with that population growth. Now, in the past, we've actually had a higher rate of population growth, and we have been able to build enough houses to keep up with that population growth. Actually, in the last 10 years, this has been one of the slowest growth rates for population that we have seen in the last 40 to 50 years. Population growth is actually not the problem. It's the system that is meant to deliver the housing supply to keep up with that population growth that is the core issue. Dwelling approvals are now near GFC era lows. Infrastructure is lagging in the growth corridors. We've got tight rental markets nationwide. Why do we have an infrastructure shortage? It is simply because our state governments do not have the money. This has meant that they have asked the new developments in and of themselves to shoulder all the infrastructure costs. This means that each new home in these new areas become increasingly unaffordable for first home buyers or people with a limited budget to get into the housing market. This is a government failure on infrastructure. And this is why dwelling approvals are near GFC era lows. This has delivered tighter rental markets across the country. This isn't about greed or a secret plan. It's about a system that hasn't kept up with demand, and now everyone feels the consequences. Ultimately, what does this mean for you? If you're renting right now, your frustration is justified. Low vacancy and policy gaps are pushing rents higher, regardless of intent. If you're trying to buy your first home, affordability isn't just about waiting for prices to fall, it's about whether the right type of housing is being delivered. If you already own property, this backlash absolutely matters because sustained public pressure eventually drives policy, and policy shapes taxes, supply, and regulation. The anger we're seeing now will influence housing decisions and taxation decisions for years to come. So Australians are absolutely not wrong to be frustrated about housing, but the issue isn't just prices rising. It's a system struggling to deliver homes people can actually afford. Until planning, construction, and infrastructure catch up and is funded, this tension isn't going to go away. This is Scott Kuru with your daily property update, your 5 to 7 minute update every single day so that you can be a property insider and invest like the top 1%. I'll see you guys at tomorrow's video.